You're listening to the SoleStrategies podcast hosted by the team here at SoleStrategies. We hope you like the latest episode and thanks for tuning in.
Okay. I don't know why that happened like that. All right, everybody. We're going to give some people a couple more minutes to get in here. And then we're going to talk today about the craziness that's been going on for the past week now. So I'm going to give people a few more seconds to get in here. And if not, we'll just upload the video and y'all can see what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Okay. Hello. Alrighty, let me adjust this. Okay. So today we're going to be talking more about all of the crazy nonsense that's been going on since the 6th of January. So if you aren't aware, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys are, there was an attempt, not even an attempt, there was an insurrection that took place at the Capitol where a lot of MAGA and Trump supporters decided that it would be a wonderful idea to storm the Capitol and attempt to overthrow the government because President Trump did not win. And they're under the impression, because of all of the press and tweets and court cases and a lot of the Republican leadership who's been refusing to give this election any validity and refusing to acknowledge the truth, they have been led to believe that Trump actually won, and this is all some gigantic hoax, and Biden somehow didn't really get 5 million popular votes, and somehow President Trump is the winner. Because of that insurrection, and as a result of that insurrection, 5 people are dead. 4 of the rioters are deceased, and 1 police officer, a Capitol police officer, was brutally beaten to death. So the aftermath of this whole entire situation is causing a lot of chaos throughout the country, and we're just at a point where we are wanting to know what will be done about what has happened, and will the Republican leadership be held accountable for their part in this? And most importantly, will Donald Trump suffer any consequences, and will he be held accountable for inciting this violence? So,
hey, you're listening to the SoleStrategies podcast. Take a moment to listen to some of our esteemed champions and their takeaways from the program.
And I'm glad that I was a part of that I had the opportunity to even be involved with that, with some legitimate organizations that help people who want to do right by other people, by communities.
Utilize my resources, utilize my networks. The last month, I've had some tremendous things happen.
It's your time to become a leader. Go to SoleStrategies.com to find out more.
In lieu of everything that's happened, the House has decided that they will begin an impeachment process on Donald Trump. Now, there are a few people who believe that an impeachment isn't necessary, and they don't understand, what's the point of impeaching somebody so late in the game. So I wanted to do this live so that we can give people information and so they can understand that, yes, he will be out of office next week, but we most importantly don't want to set the tone and set the precedence that this type of behavior, this type of treasonous activity, and this type of betrayal of our democracy is okay for future leadership to aspire to do, or it's okay for future leadership to continue out these same treasonous tactics. We don't want that to be the standard in this country. We don't want that to be the standard of our democracy. So that's just one of the reasons why it's a really good idea to continue with move forward with the proceeding. Okay, sorry. So presidents, after they leave office, are given a lifelong pension of $200,000 a year. So they'll be paid $200,000 yearly salary after they leave office. We don't want to reward Trump's activity. We don't want to reward treason. We don't want to reward fascism. We don't want to reward authoritarian aspirations. So it's important that we do not give him that pension because he doesn't deserve it. And we don't want to encourage his behavior. We don't want him to reap any benefits of this office that he's attempting to betray, this democracy that he's attempting to destroy. So that's another reason. Another reason is so he will lose access to his lifelong Secret Service. So that'll be a bill that he'll have to pay for himself. He'll have to hire his own security. He'll have to hire his own Secret Service. The American government and taxpayers should not be paying for the Secret Service and protection of a fascist who tried to overthrow our democracy. So those are just a few of the reasons why it's important that we just move forward with the impeachment. One, we can publicly go on the record judicially and as a government saying that what we saw is unacceptable. We do not condone it. We do not encourage it. And by removing him, we can set that standard. So as far as his Republican counterparts who are still, Congress people, it's important that they suffer consequences of this insurrection too. A lot of people in Congress, different congresswomen and senators, and were on Twitter, directing rioters to the Congress floor. I'm reading your comment. The problem isn't Trump. The people need to unite under this nation, under God, and come together so we don't need the government. And I see what you're saying. Yeah, this is a problem that was here long before Trump. Trump is not the inventor of white supremacy. This is something that's been boiling beneath the surface of our country for a very long time. And all it took was somebody with authoritarian ambitions to just pull that thread and unravel this whole thing. So yes, we do need to unite, but at the same time, we need to confront this type of behavior at its core. And that means removing those people from office and removing those people from power. That means, not giving a platform to people who are willing to do things like this. At the end of the day, most of us live in America because although it has its many, many issues, we thought we were a free country. We thought we were a democracy. And if we want to continue to operate our government as a democracy, it's important that we have people in government who support democracy at the very least. Like, we're not always going to all see everything the same way. I understand that there's a left wing in this country. There's a right wing in this country. There are people who have polar opposite opinions and views on how this country should be, ran to a certain extent. But at the very least, democracy has to be a foundation that we all agree on. And Republican leadership who encouraged this insurrection, who encouraged overthrowing a legal election just for their own political gain, or because they would like to, have Donald Trump as their authoritarian leader, those people have to suffer consequences and they have to be removed from office. So one of the ways people were saying that they could be removed was something that was written after the Civil War. It's in the 14th Amendment, I believe, and it's a way that we can, that the Congress people in the Senate can hold proceedings, impeach those lawmakers, and get them removed, and then we'll have to have an election to fill those seats. But that's something that absolutely should be done. A lot of those people were encouraging the violence. They were stoking those flames, and be it for political gain or whatever the reasons are, it's just completely unacceptable behavior, and it's not something that we can allow in our country to continue at all. So those people absolutely need to be removed too. And the final point on this is just showing where we really are as a nation, and it's just showing how chaotic and just how there was some people who were paid to riot. And that's another important thing. We have to get money out of politics. Dark money goes so deep into politics in America, and a lot of these rioters and a lot of these senators and congresspeople are paid by entities that we don't even know about to behave this way. And until we have free and fair elections, then yes, money will continue to infiltrate the system, and we'll continue to have things like this happening because people are paid to paid actors. Not actors as in like they're not being serious, but they're paid to behave the way they do. And it's just sad that people can be bought off and sold like that. It's really sad. But we're living in a place right now where the sad thing is, even if we do impeach these people, even if we do remove Trump, which I believe that we absolutely should, we have a long fought battle ahead of us. Sadly, I believe this is only the beginning of the violence, and the FBI has already confirmed that. There are two domestic terrorist plots brewing in the country right now. One of them is going to be on January 17th, where armed rioters are going to storm all 50 capitals across the country in an attempt to do what? I'm not sure, but they have terroristic plots brewing. There are also plots brewing on Inauguration Day, and I'm personally fearful that there'll be an assassination attempt. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that they're planning. When they stormed the Capitol, there were 2 pipe bombs found, one in the DNC, one in the RNC, and that just shows you where we are as a nation. Nobody is safe. These people were willing to murder our lawmakers, all behind this one man, and it's terrifying to see, and it's really sad to see. We have AOC. She was going on her Instagram live, and she was talking about how she's literally in fear for her life. Like, she's been getting death threats. Our nation's capital right now is being guarded by the National Guard because they are terrified that these people are going to come back and kill someone. And sadly, that is their plan. They want to do harm. And the reason why Donald Trump's presidency is so dangerous, because he encourages this violence. He refuses to take any accountability for it. He refuses to condemn it. He'll say, even in his speeches where he's literally talking up there like a hostage, being forced to condemn the violence, he'll say things like, I love you guys. You sweet people out there. I love you guys. Keep going, guys. Stand by, guys. He has such a chummy relationship with the people who are doing these terroristic threats and violence because he encourages this. He wants this. This is exactly what he wanted to happen, and it's really sad and terrifying to see. It's terrifying. They were asking him, well, not they were asking him, but while the attacks were happening, Ivanka and a few other, Kellyanne Conway and a few of his other advisors were calling him, asking him to please contact the National Guard and send them in because they needed backup. And sadly, he refused to send backup because he was watching the storm at the Capitol live on television, and he was watching it in awe. He was smiling. He was happy to see what was happening. To this day, we don't even know who it was that actually approved the backup from the National Guard to come and help the Capitol that day. But we know for a fact it was not Donald Trump, because this is what he wanted. This is exactly what he wanted, and this is what he does purposely when he continues to stoke these flames. And Bernie Sanders had a perfect quote. He tweeted the other day. He said, if this man is reckless, is so reckless that he can't even have a Twitter account, what makes you think that it's a good idea to have him as the leader of the free world? And that was an excellent point. The man has been banned from every social media platform across the internet, yet you think, you guys, or not you guys in particular, but there are millions of Republicans out here who think that, yeah, this is who we want to lead our country. They've seen what he's done over the past years. They've seen the children in cages. They've seen the Muslim ban. They've seen him say that there are fine people on the Nazi side during the Charlottesville protests. They've seen the things that he's done right now in an attempt to overthrow our democracy, and they're okay with it. Donald Trump himself saw that protesters, we got to stop calling them protesters, terrorists came to the Capitol and strung up nooses and were chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," and he still didn't want to condemn their actions. So it's just to the point where something has to be done. And this is about to open the door to an even greater conversation, because We're talking about holding the leadership accountable, such as the president and the lawmakers. But what about the people who actually rioted and stormed the Capitol? Are we going to hold them accountable as well? Some of them haven't been found. Some of them aren't even going to be facing charges other than trespassing, which blows my mind because they were armed. They broke into what's supposed to be one of the most secure buildings in the country. They stole top secret information. They stole a laptop from Nancy Pelosi's office. They stole podiums. They went in there armed and prepared to kill with handcuffs. They prepared to kidnap people. It's terrifying. And then we're being told that they might not even have charges pressed on them. And that goes into a deeper conversation because the rabbit hole runs deep. There are Capitol Police who were in on this, who were opening the doors for people. There are lawmakers who were part of organizing these protests and telling protesters where lawmakers were hiding throughout the building. Like, this stuff runs so very deep. And if we do not put our foot down, put our foot on the neck of this movement and completely flush it out and hold everybody accountable to the highest extent of the law, then these measures will only continue, and they will only continue to get worse and to get more violent. It is imperative. It is more important. This is one of the most important moments in American history that I've been alive. This is one of the most important moments that I've ever seen. And this is what's going to really show us, is everything that we've been preaching about freedom and democracy and America, is all of that a lie? Or is that who we really are? It's going to be time to see it. If these people get away with storming this Capitol, then that will only confirm what we already knew. That white people in this country believe that they have dominion over every single last one of us, that they are not bound to any laws, any regulations, any rules of this land, and that they are superior to us and they can do whatever they want, including storm their own nation's capital without any repercussions. That's going to be in stone if these people are not held accountable. And it's just going to show us that the American dream and democracy and freedom and all of how we've gone to countries to fight endless wars for the sake of freedom and democracy, it'll show us that that was all lies. If we can't secure democracy in our own country, what makes us think that we can go somewhere else and try to fight for someone else's democracy? We don't even have a hold on our own, and we don't even fully believe in the idea of democracy at all. If we don't prove that here today, this week, this month, by charging everybody involved to the highest extent of the law. But that's all I have to say about that, guys. I thank you guys so much for joining me. I thank you for leaving comments today. And we're going to be back soon, with another update. I might go live again today. I don't know. It's just a lot going on. And I just want you guys to know that no matter what, it's still important to hold these people accountable, even though times are looking grim and dim and it's looking very dark right now. It's still important that we do what we can, if anything, to hold these people accountable. All right. So thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.